is a Process of Decisions podcast. This is Trent Thomas, your recovery peer support specialist. Tonight's episode is entitled My Recovery. My recovery is no different than anyone else's. I used drugs and alcohol until drugs and alcohol used me. My addiction story began at an early age as I suffer from an addiction to anything that looks good or feels good. I'm the type of addict that must schedule every event in my life because many things can be an issue for me. From food to work to sex, addiction can change its spots, but at its core, it remains self-deception. Nobody could do more to harm me than I did to myself. It was in 2003 when my God sent me a moment of sanity, and I was afforded the opportunity to ask for and receive help. My moment of sanity occurred after my best thinking had me giving away the job, the car, the home. My separation from my family propelled me into depressed thinking that I was worth more to my family dead than living. My world had become a dark journey of chasing a substance that I was convinced I needed to live. In fact, the need was greater than food, clothing, housing, love, family. This need became my God. I served it as it was the master of my existence. The God of my understanding sent a moment of sanity and presented a path to recovery, a path to live. So I decided to follow instructions and entered my path to recovery. On this journey, I learned how to make better decisions and depend upon a power greater than myself to instruct and guide me. I learned how to live without a drink or a drug. I learned how to feel and deal with my feelings. I learned to not make decisions based on feelings. I learned to never put the feelings in front of the facts. I also learned what it means to be a man. I learned men do cry. In fact, you are not a man until you learn how to cry. I learned the meaning of faith. I learned when asked, how can you believe in God? To answer, how can you not believe in God? I learned if you live long enough, you will see God manifest himself in your life. I learned to follow God's timeline and not my own. I learned the true value of a woman. I learned women have qualities and traits men lack. I learned that man and woman together, they are one. They, in fact, find completeness in each other. I learned a man requires respect and a woman requires protection. I learned your family never leaves you. They just waiting for you to return. I learned your family needs you alive, and you have so much to offer alive. I learned that everything I have been through was absolutely necessary for me to be where I am today. I learned that struggle builds character and strength. This same struggle binds us to God and builds faith. It also proves the existence of a power greater than ourselves. I learned there is no recovery without God. I learned God is truth and light. I learned that addiction is self-deception and follows the lie, which leads to darkness and death. I learned that everyone has the right to decide whether to live or die. I learned that to recover is to live and not die. I learned that God is not finished with me and there is more for me to do. I learned to strive just to do better as a daily mandate. I learned that to strive is to struggle and struggle is necessary for life. In fact, man was created to struggle. I learned that my life is hills and valleys in constant motion of ups and downs. I learned that life ain't easy and nor should it be. I learned that life is worth living. I learned that there is no cure for the disease of addiction, but treatment is possible and a purposeful and manageable life is available for those that struggle to recover. I learned that recovery is a process of decisions. My recovery is a daily decision permitted by God's daily reprieve or forgiveness. I now know I serve a loving, forgiving God of compassion and empathy, a God that not only created us but sustains us by installing perpetual, never-ending systems that provide blood flow, oxygen, completeness, and mental alertness, a God that completes us in the form of man and woman, a God that provides for us with a loving home complete with systems that sustain us, in a earthly home complete with sun, moon, and stars, night and day, hot and cold, dry and wet, a 24-hour cycle built for us to live. Recovery is a process of decisions, a decision to live, to recover from bad past decisions, to recover by simply doing better, making better decisions, receiving more rewards and less consequences. My recovery is a journey of life. Each day is a bright new opportunity to just do better, better today than yesterday. God directed, God inspired, God initiated, God fulfilled with the light of truth, a journey that is purposed by helping someone other than myself. As long as I am helping someone other than myself, I am rewarded with more gifts, more rewards, more to give. My God is a God of multiplicity. He multiplies his gifts, his applications, his plans, his processes. What he purposes never fails and always succeeds. A God of sustained success, a God who relishes in creating and producing life. He enjoys the production and sustaining of life. He loves when man gets it right, when man seeks truth and follows him with faith, when man makes corrections and chooses to follow the one true God. God hates the lie and despises the liar. I know I have God's love when I decide to follow the truth and defeat the lie of addiction. My God is happy with me in my decision to recover. No greater return on investment when I decided to return the gift of life with a decision to recover, to turn away from the lie of addiction and turn to the decision of truth and recovery, to institute the gift of life with the reward of more life. To make God happy is a goal of my recovery. This is Trent Thomas on Recovery is a Process of Decisions podcast. Please leave your enriching, enlightening comments on transnetrecover.com/podcast. That's transnetrecover.com/podcast. Your comments will be greatly appreciated. Thank you.